Oh, hello. It's you again. Hey, welcome back. Yes. This is it. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The first starting lineup for the All Blacks for 2021 has been announced. Are you excited? Okay. First of all, now I am not sure if this is like, so this team. It's kind of like a mixture of someone like the potential starting lineup and a lot of reserves. And as you can see, it's against Tonga. And last time these two teams played, I think New Zealand won 97 points to like 7 or something. What was it? Can I find that stats here? I think it's here somewhere. Last time these two teams played, 92 points to 7. And so this time New Zealand is playing Tonga at home, and I don't know the Tongan lineup, but I did a little bit of reading about their players. Yeah, they're quite thin. A lot of their players are like, reserves for Super Rugby teams are like some of the best players. Like injury reserves for Super Rugby teams, not even like starting reserve, are some of the best players. And could potentially see triple digits here. Because since he's played in New Zealand, played in Auckland, it's not played at Eden Park. And but it's a friendly, so maybe New Zealand won't go too hard on them. But let's get to this lineup. This is very exciting to see how Ian Foster picks his team, aka the greatest coach ever in the history of New Zealand. And you can see that there's pieces in this team that is definitely the core of the New Zealand All Blacks and the starting lineup. And then there's other pieces where he's kind of like juggling around and trying things out. So let's go from the fullback. The number one, the guy at fullback, Damien High Shot McKenzie. He's back. He's our fullback. I'll be very surprised if he gets to start a fullback when during the Bledisloe Cup. To be really frank, I think they're just trying him out a fullback. In fact, out of the fullbacks that is available for the All Blacks, Will Jordan and Bodie Barrett, I think both of them are better than McKenzie at fullback. Just Will Jordan is a bit better at running with the ball, and he's score more points for the Crusaders and just have more meters over the McKenzie. Although McKenzie's better at linking up with players at fullback, but Will Jordan's slightly better in my opinion than McKenzie at running the ball. Jordie Barrett is better than, it's probably not as good as McKenzie at running the ball, nor as good as Will Jordan, but it's not that far off. But Jordie Barrett is so much better at kicking, and he has that 60-meter kicking range for penalty goals, which is really, really important as well for his Test rugby. So I'm very, this is, it's good. Congrats, Damien, high shot, McKenzie. This is probably the only time you're going to be wearing that 15 jersey. I mean, maybe then, I think there's a couple more try matches coming out, and he might get another run, but 15 Damien McKenzie, 14 Will Jordan. I was actually wondering if they're going to put Will Jordan at wing at some point, because he is a really, 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 really good finisher. And I'm not surprised by this. Number 14, Will Jordan. In fact, I'll probably say Will Jordan could potentially start at number 14 for the All Blacks as a full-time start, because he's just that damn good as a finisher. When he runs the ball, he really makes an impact. His defense might be a little bit off, which is why I think having him at the blindside winger is pretty good for him. And then we have Riku Yuwani. This is something that the All Blacks really wanted to try out for their center combination. I don't think Rico will be when Test rugby comes, will be over Anton Leonard-Brown at 13. I think Anton Leonard-Brown is still way better than Rico. But this will be a good time to try out to see how Rico goes. I mean, Rico has always been a really good finisher in the past at wing, but nowadays he's not that clinical anymore in his running game, and he's more like a line buster which is how I guess Fozzie sees him. But I don't think 13 is the right position for Riku. To be honest, I am not sure if he actually gonna make the team when political Tri-Nation starts. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think it's Chinese. Quad Nation starts. I think South Africa is back, right? But anyway, Riku at 13. More likely, he's gonna make 12, but I just don't think his hands with the ball is that good. He's more of a 13, if any center position. And they'll have Quinn Tupaia. Anyway, I'm not going to try that again. He's at 12. You know what? I think will be a really good at 12. I've spoken to a few people in my channel. Some of you guys have spoken to me about it. Is that Beauden Barrett will make a great number 12. It is pretty common in rugby today to play two fly halves. One at 10 and one at 12. Australia has done it for a long time. England is doing it with Owen Farrell. And it's not something that you've seen in New Zealand, nor it's something that you see in South Africa. They genuinely don't play two 10s. But it's something that's, I think it's more like an Australian thing, and where you play what they call a second 5'8" and number 12. But New Zealand has been pretty strict. They genuinely want an impact player at 12. An impact player that can link up with a 13 at 12. Not really someone that's a 10 that can make a second 5'8" decision sort of thing. So it's something that New Zealand don't like to play, but I think that would be probably the best for Beauden Barrett. And Fozzie, I know, you are a dinosaur, but time is changing. Definitely should try that, because Beauden Barrett at 12, man, I'm too scared to think about how good that would be for the All Blacks. Like, honestly, I'm really glad that I hope that Fozzie would never put him at 12. Let's just put it that way. George Bridge at number 11. A lot of people don't think that he really is that great. He had a stellar season with the Crusaders, but for a match with Tonga, I could see they give him a try there. And number 10, Richie Muanga. This is the core number 10-9 combination they really wanted to work on. Brad Weber and Richie Muanga. Brad at 9, Muanga at 10. Richie is very, very informed, and we shall see how good he is in international rugby. In Super Rugby, he absolutely been dominant over everybody and everyone, and he's apparently the best in the world ever. Who cares? Like, who's Stan Carter? Hello, this guy's the best ever. But yeah, Richie Muanga is definitely informed, and if he keeps that form, he's definitely in the conversation, to say the least, for best number 10 ever for the All Blacks, probably ever in the world. Brad Weber, again, a waste of your talent, Brad. You should be an actor. You're like the best acting I've ever seen on the field. I'm just such a waste of your talent, mate. Outside of that, you are decent at rugby, but I think your acting is definitely better. If you need an agent, try Google. I think obviously that's the 9-10 combination they're trying to work on, and that is most likely the starting 9-10 combination for the New Zealand All Blacks for this year. Now let's look at the forwards. We have Carl Tuinukuafi. He is very solid number 1 for the All Blacks. He's been pretty good for the All Blacks in the past. Dan Coles. This front row, Dan Coles could be. This front row is like, and Angus Tarval from the Chiefs. Angus Tarval was a reserve a couple years ago, so he's really matured. I can definitely see him start. Same with Carl. They could both, like, this front row could definitely be a starting front row, or like the reserve front row for the All Blacks. Dan Coles, I do think that Cody Taylor is better than Dan Coles nowadays, but Dan Coles is definitely still swinging, the last few years of his career, and he's definitely still up there as one of the best in the world. His running game is pretty good. He does get triggered quite easily, so maybe can be exploited. He likes to have a bit of fun on the field, I guess. Pretty solid 4-pack. And this front row is world class. Tonga's gonna really struggle with this, the scrums, and also they're coming up next. The lock combination, Scott Barrett and Sam Whitelock. Scott Red Card Barrett, the only Barrett brother, is on the team. Can you believe it? Oh my god. I thought he was the worst one of the family, but apparently he's risen to the top. Yeah, he's definitely one of the favorites by Fozzie for sure. He's really worked hard to get himself back, and he's number 4 with Sam Whitelock, who's the captain. I do think the captain selection has a big issue because the lock position is one of the most contested spots in the New Zealand team. And if you have Sam Whitelock as captain, you're basically saying that spot is guaranteed for Sam Whitelock. And a lot, so now there's like Scott Barrett, I can't think of the guy's name, anyway, I can't remember. The Blues lock, the captain, I actually can't remember his name. The Blues lock, anyway, the Blues lock, who's the Blues captain, who's also plays number 4. And you have, what's his name? Bodie Retallick. And all these guys are just basically competing for one spot. And I think that's a really bad choice to have Sam Whitelock as the captain there. Just how competitive the position is. And that it basically means that, that he's guaranteed a spot in the team. So I'm not really a big fan of that. Oh, by the way, Brad Weber, I think they could potentially start him over the greatest of all time. Just want to touch, what's his name? Aaron Smith. I think they're really trying to build up Weber to kind of as the next generation sort of thing. I forgot to mention Aaron Smith could most likely be starting actually. Want to say, Anyway, so I'm not really a big fan of that. And then number 6, Riku Yuwani. He's really, really good for the Blues, being rewarded. Dalton Papali'i at number 7, and Luke Jacobson at number 8. This loose 3 trio, it's okay. I do think that maybe what's his name? Adi Savia could potentially be a starting over one of these guys at number 8 potentially. But yeah, again, this is against Tonga. Not too fussed about the loose forwards. But I do think that the tight 5 is quite dominant, and that the scrums are really going to struggle for the Tonga. I'm not going to be surprised to see a penalty try here and there. The replacement, Asafu Amua, he could potentially be debuting, I think, for the All Blacks. I think it's his debut potentially. Oh no, he's already got a debut. George Bauer is either debutant. I think George Bauer might be a debutant. Terrell Lomax and Patrick Tuipulotu. Tuipulotu is the other second rower. That's the name I can't pronounce. Tuipulotu. Again, I just think that it's just too, like, having Sam Whitelock as the captain, he just locked out one of the spots for anybody else. And it's quite frankly, and all these guys could be starting at 4 and 5. And they're all pretty close in terms of their skill level. And also Sam Whitelock is getting close to the end of his career as well. So you might want to be putting more emphasis on younger players, aka Scott Redcar Barrett and Patrick Tuipulotu to fill those spots. So yeah, I really don't like the captain selection, to be honest. I thought maybe if they do gonna pick, they should probably want, if they do want to lock in a spot in the second rower just to have some consistency, I thought it would have gone to Scott Barrett because he's just younger and the best of the 3 Barrett brothers, apparently. Anyway, Ethan Blackadder, he's developed a lot for the over the Super Rugby season. I think he's debuting, and also Finlay Christie, he's potentially the substitution for the number 9, and the big name Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett and Jordie Barrett both on the bench. So the fact that Jordie Barrett is also on the bench, it tells me that Beauden's not going to go on at the number 15 spot. So he's going to run at number 10 spot at some point in the second half. Again, this is a trial match. I do see that Beauden, they wanted to give Beauden a bit of time. I'm surprised that they didn't start Beauden to just give him some like, just to warm him up into the like the New Zealand rugby intensity. But yeah, they put him on the bench, and also I do think that Bowden at 12 will be a much better position for him than being a reserve for Richie Muanga, because if you take him off the field, you're actually replacing Richie Muanga with and Richie Muanga doesn't have like fitness issues or anything, so you're just replacing with someone with lower kicking percentage and with with similar ball skills but lower kicking percentage, basically. So you're really like just losing out when you put him on the field to replace Muanga. And also, Jordie Barrett at 15 is, I think, probably most likely going to be a start in the future over Damon McKenzie. Jordie Barrett, just overall extremely solid player. Just long-range kicking, penalty goals, something that you really want on the field as an option. Yes, which is why I don't see Bodie Barrett playing 15 over Jordie, just for that reason that Jordie can kick 60 meters. So, yeah. Please don't tell Fozzie to put Bowden at 12, because that will be a disaster for everybody else, obviously. Not for New Zealand. Anyway, let's look at Tonga's team. Let's just quickly go through them. I'm not going to pretend I know any of these guys. So let's just have a look. 15, James Fiver. Hosea Saumaki, number 14. Fine Inisi, number 13. Number 12, Nikolai Foliaki. That sounded a bit familiar. Number 11, Panicolo Latu. Number 10, Kailion Hala. Number 9, Sonatane Takulua. And a tight head, a loose head prop, Luke. I think it's winning. Number 2, Samuela Molly. Number 3, Sila Puafisi. Number 4, Don Lolo. Number 5, Zhang Capelli. Number 6, Mateaki Kafutulu. Number 7, Solomon Funaki. And number 8, Sion Tuipulotu. Hey, Tuipulotu. It's a brother or cousin or something like that. I don't know. Maybe. And then the replacements, Siwa Miley. Number 17, Jethro Filemi. Number 18, Tau Kuluamatangi. Number 19, Harrison Mataeli. Number 20, Viliami Taulani. Number 21, Nasi Manu. Number 22, Leon Fukufuka. Number 23, Walter Fifita. And that's the lineup for Tonga. The predictions are not very good for Tonga. Massive margins are expected for the New Zealand team to win. But it's be interesting to see a few things. See how Bowden Barrett cope coming back from New Zealand. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, just remember, guys, please don't let Fozzie know Bowden can play 12. Don't even mention it. Please, because that's going to be really bad for the Wallabies. Thanks for watching.